I only have one thing to say about 2020 so far. Me? Dramatic? Get out of here! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Crimsy, and today I'd like to talk a bit about the most recent art challenge trending on Twitter called the Sailor Moon Redraw Challenge, and the little wave of controversy around it. I'd also like to use this opportunity to share with you my usual take on these kind of controversies and how I choose to deal with it, because I know it can become pretty aggravating for some people sometimes, especially now that everybody is stuck at home all day and we spend most of our time online. We're just a bunch of little sentient meatbags trying to find meaning in all of this, and for some of us, art challenges do just that. I think it's a known fact at this point that I really like art challenges of all kinds. Art challenges are fun, they drive you to be extra creative, and most of all, they bring people together. Sometimes it's only for a few days, sometimes it's for a whole month, like with Inktober for example. But no matter how long it lasts, everyone benefits from it. The artists get to showcase their talent, their creativity, and get their names out there. The franchise gets free publicity and hype around it. And the fans get showered with amazing art of their favorite characters. And they also get to discover new artists to follow and support along the way. So basically, everyone wins in this scenario, which, if you think about it, rarely ever happens in life. And I love that for us. We should cherish trends that bring artists and communities together in such positive and constructive ways. But overall, I think my favorite thing about these art challenges is that most of the time, anything goes. You can use these challenges to show off your awesome drawing skills, your versatility, your creativity, or you can have a rather more humoristic approach to them and expose a comedian in you to the whole world, which is also very appreciated and much needed right now, especially on Twitter, where some people tend to take themselves a bit too seriously sometimes. It's not a majority of people, thank God for that, but it's a loud minority that likes to make some waves every time there's an opportunity that shows itself, and you can tell they relish the thought of controversy by just how strongly they value their opinions all the time and how categorical their statements always are right off the bat. Also, just as a little heads up, this is not a rant video, at least not really. Sorry if the title made you think that, but I would rather talk about this topic in a way that I hope will be constructive. Because one, I'm pretty happy right now and I don't feel like ranting or giving this any more big mad energy than there already is. And two, I don't believe these people deserve much of our time and energy to begin with, so I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of getting an angry reaction out of me when we all know this is exactly what some of them want. My whole point with this video is to open a discussion with those on the receiving end of this toxicity and offer you guys some good old common sense and my personal take on the topic, including some solutions for you lovelies on how you can choose to deal with these people. We're all too familiar with last year's now infamous whitewashing controversy surrounding Nessa, the black gym leader from Pokémon Sword and Shield, whose public reveal took Twitter by storm and then became a trendy topic everywhere on the internet. Artists from all over the world started to draw her in their style, but soon enough, the whitewashing accusations began flying around and we saw the birth of, yet again, another art-related Twitter controversy. I didn't pay much attention to it when it happened, to be honest. I'm only bringing this up to make the point that this is nothing new, especially when it comes to art-related Twitter controversies. Twitter is now basically Tumblr the sequel, Tales of the Dumpster Fire 2.0. And I've managed to shield myself from most of its nonsense with the awesome mute feature and by surrounding myself exclusively with wholesome visions of horror. But even that isn't enough sometimes. Now, fast forward to around 2 weeks ago, the Sailor Moon Redraw Challenge resurfaced on Twitter, and again, hundreds of artists began drawing their own versions of the challenge, myself included. Some people drew her very pretty, some super stylized, and some very realistic. Hell, we even got these treats for the eyes, whatever they are. And for most of it, I had a grandiose time. It was really fun. I had an excuse to draw in the style of my favorite artist, Junji Ito, by the way. I retweeted a lot of other amazing artists, and my Twitter post even blew up a little, which also brought me new followers. So really, I was pretty ecstatic. And my bad juju shield worked perfectly too, apparently, because I only caught wind of the recent controversy surrounding this challenge through YouTube recommendations. And I have to say, I was pretty confused to see it was yet again a whitewashing controversy, seeing as Sailor Moon is as white as anime characters come. So basically, what happened is that this sweet Malaysian artist did his own rendition of a more Asian-looking Sailor Moon, and overall he received mostly positive feedback for it. The issue with the positive feedback he got is that some of the people were actually praising him for making the character look more Japanese and not whitewashing her like quote-unquote most artists do, thus insulting all the artists who simply made Sailor Moon look like Sailor Moon, you know? Because Sailor Moon looks like an anime character, and I guess anime characters are whitewashed now. I don't know. Anyway, it also insulted the artist along the way because these people were just assuming he tried to make her look Japanese, which he didn't. I'm just going to chime in here real quick because one, Sailor Moon comes from, you guessed it, the moon. So the people making assumptions about her race are just wrong in general. And two, the artist who drew her later said that his actual inspiration was the face of his younger sister. So just don't. Just don't. If there's one thing I can assure you is that most artists don't draw to further your own social or political views, and if they do so, usually they state it. So if you think the reason somebody stylized their art a certain way is because it's a social or political statement, you're just projecting your own personal views on the artist's message, and that is wrong. You're free to interpret the art however you want, but once you start assuming an artist's intentions and even start to publicly claim these intentions as truth, and even go as far as praising them for intentions they have themselves never claimed to have, that's when you hurt the community, that's when you hurt the artist, and that's when you are being toxic. But the truth is, we cannot control these people, or how they think, or how they interact with others. They will always be out there. There's nothing you can do about this fact. So what can we do? Well, first, we can control how we feel about them and their anger and what to do with that information. Secondly, don't get angry in return. And if you are, don't answer back to them immediately. Just let it sink in for a bit that it's just Twitter. It's not that deep. And instead, I offer you this solution. Just crack a joke. Just make fun of the situation. You could even just share your favorite fun fact about armadillos. Do anything, but play into their scheme. They want an angry reaction out of you. they are themselves angry. And usually, angry people tend to react to humor in three different ways. Either one, they get confused and they won't respond to you. Two, they'll snap back but just not as strongly because they'll quickly lose interest in dealing with someone who's just not taking the bait. Or three, they'll completely disengage, and sometimes you can even have a nice conversation with them and discover you have things in common and you are both humans. You both love Animal Crossing and you can even trade codes to visit each other's island or something. Anger is a fire that hurts. Humor is a playful splash of water that appeases minds and souls alike. Now, you know exactly what I mean. Don't go make that baby jokes. You're better than that. But yeah, when these situations happen, your first reflex might be to feel like the artist needs defending, but there are ways you can do it that won't just spread more fire. So instead, Google some jokes, and even better, then you'll have some more jokes to crack during a family dinner. So everybody wins, and no one is angry. I always find it really unfortunate when artists have their fun completely tainted by these events and these interactions with other people, while you can tell other artists, like myself, had so much fun with this challenge. I mean, come on, this artist drew Sailor Moon as a velociraptor, and they got out of it just fine. There was no race involved with this, nobody commented that. What we all should do is to just keep enjoying these fun art challenges, no matter who tries to ruin it for us. And I think we all need to stop taking things too seriously and laugh a bit. Especially right now, as there's enough bull going on in the world to just be getting angry at these things that honestly should all be about fun, creativity, and connecting with others. Anyway, that was it for my barely warm take on this topic. I would love to know what you guys think in the comments below, like how you usually deal with people like that. I really hope you like the Junji Ito tribute and the little horror edit along with it. I did have a lot of fun with this, and I do intend on participating to a lot more art trends in the future now that I am out of a job. Yep, that's right. So for the next months, I don't know how long, but I'll be dedicating my full time towards my 3D games art portfolio and this YouTube channel. Perhaps even a full year. I really don't know. So definitely expect more art, more videos, and more me all around. I hope it's a good news. Stay safe, everybody. See you next time. Au revoir.